is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are here to talk about the Detroit Lions OTAs, the first couple of days of OTAs for the Detroit Lions, and also the Lions have revealed their numbers for all 91 players on the roster. So let's get it started.
Way up, we're going to bite a kneecap off, and we're going to stand up, and then it's going to take 2 more shots to knock us down. And on the way up, we're going to take your other kneecap, and we're going to get up, and then it's going to take 3 shots to get us down. And when we do, we're going to take another hunk out of you. Before long, we're going to be the last one standing.
Yes! He's the GOAT! Oh, there's nobody! Welcome, everybody, to a video. Glad you guys are here. And yes, we have some awesome Detroit Lions things to talk about. So I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute. I thought reporters couldn't be at these organized team activities until Thursday. You are correct. That's right. We don't have any notes or anything like that from reporters being there watching the practice, but we do have photos. So when you put on, your little Sherlock Holmes hat, did Sherlock Holmes wear a hat? I think he did. We kind of look at some of the small details of the photos and maybe get some takeaways based on those. I know it's crazy. It does sound kind of crazy, but that's what we're going to do. I got a couple of takeaways from some of the photos the Lions have given us over the last couple of days. And also, as I mentioned, the Lions have revealed the numbers for their roster. Now, not all of these guys will make the roster, and these are subject to change, but with some of the number changes, I think there's some awesome number changes that some of these players made, all right? And we're going to get into it. I think I know what jersey I want to get for the Detroit Lions, okay? The idea of getting a jersey of someone that not a lot of people have, and I think I know who exactly that's going to be, okay? I'm pumped. I'm pumped to reveal it. I'm excited. I'm hoping he keeps this number, though. If a guy gets cut, and it's like, oh, I want that number, then I guess he could take it, and it'd be like, well, dang, I have the wrong number. So I'll probably still wait a little bit, but I think I know whose jersey I want to get for sure. So first off, I want to dive right into these OTA photos, and we've touched on it, right? The veterans, the leaders were showing up to these organized team activities, and that was just a huge first step, I think, for Dan Campbell. And the Lions put the pictures on social media. You have Taylor Decker, Trey Flowers, Frank, right? I mean, you guys, all these guys showing up to organized team activities. You don't know who's not showing up? Aaron Rodgers, he ain't showing up for the first time ever. I know that has nothing to do with anything, but I'm just saying it's really cool that these guys who a month ago said they would not be showing up because of the crazy whole COVID situation, now they are here. So I thought that's a pretty awesome start for Dan Campbell. And the coaches have said this is an opportunity for us to kind of get our first impressions of these guys. I mean, it really is. A lot of these guys are new, and now it's not just the rookies anymore. This is no longer rookie minicamp. This is where all these players can show up. Now, mandatory practices start, I believe, June 8th. I think that's when it kicks off. There will next week be more OTAs. Mandatory is June 8th, and July 27th is reportedly when training camp will begin for the NFL. So just a couple of dates I thought I would throw out there. But let's get into some of these photos and some of my takeaways from these photos. All right, now this first one is Jared Goff. Tyrell Williams, who used to wear the number 16, is no longer number 16. Now he's wearing the number 6. So he dropped the number 1. Get it? Like a receiver. Hopefully he doesn't drop many passes. Sorry. So he's wearing a single-digit number. You can now do that because of the number changes for skill positions. So he's wearing the number 6 and Jared Goff wearing number 16. But I think what's interesting about this picture is that notice he's taking the snap out of the shotgun. See, you got to really look at the small details. I'm just saying he's taking that out of the shotgun, like we said, a spread offense. This next one, not really too, schematic or anything like that. Just TJ Hockenson, he's rocking the long hair. I see him. He's trying to look a little bit like Dan Campbell. Maybe that, hey, maybe I'll get more, pass attempts a game if I look like him a little bit. I see you, TJ Hockenson. Here we see Romeo Okwara in a 2-point stance. Now, they're not wearing pads yet. They're just wearing helmets. I mean, it's still extremely early, but you can see him in a 2-point stance, kind of playing that outside linebacker position for a 3-4 defense, like we touched on with some of our defensive schemes. Same thing with his brother, Julian Okwara, also in a 2-point stance. And I think it fits these guys pretty darn well when you talk about their athleticism. We know Romeo can get on the defensive line and he can go to work there. But specifically for Julian, with his size, I love the thought of those two guys as outside linebackers, but they're in the 2-point stance. And also notice Dean Marlowe was behind Romeo Okwara there, so you can see him playing the safety spot. This is a big one, and this one, we've seen a couple of photos on this. We saw a lot of photos of Penei Sewell. He's wearing the number 58, so we're asking ourselves, okay, Jamie Collins is no longer number 58. What number is Jamie Collins wearing? Oh, I love this. He's wearing the number 8, just 8, straight up like that. He dropped the 5, wearing the number 8. That's icy. Woo, I like that. I like that. Jamie Collins rocking the number 8. That is clean. Something about that it just feels right. So he's rocking the number 8. Penei Sewell's wearing his rookie number. And then we have this other photo. This is a big one because this could be the Lions starting offensive line for this season. Notice Penei Sewell playing the right tackle position. At right guard, we have Big V. This dude is huge, man. I mean, look at some of these pictures. The guy is huge. And obviously the hair makes him look even bigger. Frank Ragnow playing center. Left guard, Jonah Jackson. Left tackle, of course, Taylor Decker. It's still far in the offseason, but it looks like that kind of is the assumption of what the Lions offensive line will probably look like this season, barring any craziness. fitness in terms of injuries, things like that. Also have a tight end out here. I can't tell who it is. Looks like he's going under center for this play. Of course, him and Crosby. I'm like, there's a lot of guys competing for roles here, but I think if most of us had to predict what will be the starting offensive line, that's what we would predict, and that's what it looks like the Lions are kind of going with as of now. Still very early. We don't know what's going to happen by the time the season starts. Someone could surprise us, take a role, things could change around, but they do have Penny Sewell at that right tackle position, so that would be pretty awesome. So that's what the offensive line is looking like. I gotta say, that offensive line looks pretty darn good. Jonah Jackson still chilling, and then Big V at right guard, as we touched on him kind of sliding inside. They like the idea of it, and they're getting it started there, giving him some rest at that guard spot. But he's wearing the number 58. Of course, Derek Barnes wearing the number 55. Also, I thought this was pretty interesting. Hunter Thetford, we saw him catching some passes in a picture. And, Hunter Thetford, not a big pass catcher in college back at Utah. But I think what I also want to add to this is that Jake Hausman, Charlie, whose name I'm not going to try to say, and Hunter Thetford all are wearing numbers in the 40s. All their numbers come in the 40s. Now, tight ends, they can wear those numbers now, but they're all in the 40s. It kind of makes me think of an H-back type of role. It does. And I thought a lot of those guys could compete for that. Now, Brock Wright is wearing the number in the 80s, but I just thought it was some little to note. Jelani Tavai. There are multiple pictures of Jelani Tavai as well. He looks much lighter to me. I don't know if it's just because he's not wearing pads. The guy looks much lighter though. So, give huge props to Jelani Tavai and, what he's been able to accomplish so far this offseason. Jonathan Adams Jr. wearing the number 82 for the Detroit Lions. Chris Spielman. Now, this is not about the Lions players, but you can see Chris Spielman on the field here. He's been working with some linebackers. Apparently, he's done some drills with guys like Derek Barnes. He's out there. He's being very hands-on. So this hiring was more than just help us find the right head coach. I mean, it goes way deeper than that. Now he's extremely involved with the Lions in terms of coaching. Chris Spielman had to sign off on the linebacker that he wanted this draft, and Derek Barnes was someone that he signed off on, but you see him getting out there on the field. Kind of cool to see him back out there. We did have the Chris Spielman jersey up, but you guys can't see it. It's okay. I like this picture as well because it definitely is showing us once again Sheila Ford Hamp, like she said, she wants to be hands-on as an owner, involved in it all. She's trying to learn about what the Lions are doing, stay involved in the meetings. Here she is on the field. I love it. She's being hands-on like she said she was. I feel like I'd be exactly like that. So I love that. She wants to be a part of turning this thing around. She doesn't want to just sit back and be like, all right, it is what it is. She wants to make this thing happen. I think these photos are great. Now, this is a cool one. Jason Kabinda, notice here he's taking the handoff. You guys see that? Jason Kabinda, who's our fullback, so could be lead blocking in like an I-form situation. You can't tell if there's a running back behind, but he's not looking at the ball. I don't think he should look at the ball, but he's not. And also, maybe it's a play action that's being set up here. I'm not completely sure, but either way, he's getting involved. You see some fullback runs this season. I don't think he's moving to running back. He is 236 pounds. He was our fullback last season. But Kabinda maybe get his hands on the football a little bit more this season. This is also something that could be used out of the pistol formation as well. You put him next to the quarterback. Could be a quick handoff. This could be I formation, under center, over to the fullback. So, I know we haven't seen tons of fullback dives, I feel like, in the past. We also Nick Baldwin running with the football as well. So, a couple of pictures of our fullbacks getting a little involved there. That's ground and pound, all right? You get the fullbacks going. Jeff Okudah with the clean 23. I mean, you got to love it. The 23 is just, it's icy for Jeff Okudah. I'm sorry if anybody has the 30 jersey. I think it's still cool, though. Like, when Darius Slay wore 23, he went from 30 to 23. When he was rocking the number 30, yeah, that wasn't his best years, but it's kind of cool to have that jersey, when he first started. So, it's nothing wrong with it. Here's a picture they gave us of the entire secondary. I just had one point of this. Melifonwu is, just so tall. One guy that you can't see, I believe that's Quentin Dunbar, and that's the jersey that I want to get. He is rocking the number 1 this season. Now, if someone gets cut, someone loses a spot on the secondary and he can go get a number that he wants instead, he could take that number. But I'm hoping he keeps that number. I hopefully he keeps the number 1 because I think that is so clean. The guy was so good up until his injury last season. He's a great scheme fit. Man, if he comes back healthy, he just had surgery. The dude could be our best free agent signing. I know it's crazy, but he could be. And I think I want that jersey. So I may even have to customize it. I don't care, but I can't get it yet, though, because it's not guaranteed he's going to wear the number 1. But Quentin Dunbar jersey would be pretty clean, that's for sure. Also, a couple more notes here. Dedrick Mills wearing the number 36. I think that suits him well. What was that? Brian Westbrook, didn't he used to wear that number with Philly? Jerome Bettis. I mean, it's kind of like that power back type of feel. That's what Dedrick Mills is. We haven't done a video on him. We got to do one soon, but he's kind of like a power back that can play fullback. That's what he is. So I think the number suits him very, very well. Jamar Jefferson wearing the number 28, the Adrian Peterson number. I see you. One more note here. We saw Alize Mack making some nice grabs. It may seem that Alize Mack may have the leg up for the number 3 tight end role. We saw Hawkinson and Darren Fells walking together. It seems like those two are locks, but who's the third tight end? I think the Lions probably keep 4 with one maybe maybe being like an H-back type of mix. I'm not sure, something like that. They may keep an extra fullback, something like that. But I think they'll probably keep like 4. But Alize Mack, I mean, I have a feeling right now that he's someone the Lions signed a while ago. They brought him in a while ago. I have a feeling Alize Mack is kind of high in terms of the rest of some of these younger tight ends. But we'll see, even though he looks like he made a great grab here. Here's an interesting little note that I saw, and this is Victor Bolden being labeled as a running back. Okay, now this is kind of weird. Victor Bolden, we know he's a receiver. He wears the number 13. He's kind of been with the Lions in off seasons and preseasons before. He's a former returner as well out of Oregon State, but he was labeled as a running back. Now, you can wear those numbers now. For running backs, you can wear number 13 and be labeled a running back. So it's just interesting. Is this a position change? Is this just, mistype? What is this? He is 5'8", 178. He kind of has a scat back type of build. Also, go back to Oregon State, you'll notice that he did carry the football a little bit. He had 36 carries in his junior season, and his senior year, he had 28 carries. His senior year, he averaged over 11 yards per carry. All right, and his junior year, over 5 yards per carry. Maybe we see a little bit of a scat back build. We know he can catch the football. We know he can return. Maybe this is like, that kind of guy that can throw the ball into the flats. He can run a little scary with the ball in his hands. I don't know. Maybe he's just something. Not a guarantee he'll make the team. But it's interesting. Maybe we see a little bit of a positional change here, kind of like we saw with Jamal Agnew. Not that they stay extreme, but maybe a little bit of a positional change for a guy like Victor Bolden. Now, before we end this, I do want to take a look at the numbers for the Detroit Lions. I want to throw the numbers on the screen. There's a lot of them. Like I said, there's 91 players here. So I want to throw the numbers on the screen, kind of just roll through some of my main takeaways, but then allow you guys kind of just look at them. Before we go look at some numbers, I first want to say one thing that Kelvin Johnson brought up when he was talking about the Detroit Lions. Yesterday, we said the Lions are preparing to, pay him the $1 million to try to get him back in the fold, and he said he wouldn't until that was done. But he did say this. He said he loves the team. He loves the fans. He wants to stay in Detroit in the near future. He doesn't see any reason that he would leave in the near future of Detroit. He loves to hear. He said these fans cheered for us when we were 0-16, and then we were balling in 2011 when we were 10-6. He said that he wants to be there for the players. Any tidbits that he can add. Same thing with Sims. Remember Sims? He was a former Lions offensive lineman. They're working together on their cannabis company. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully Kelvin Johnson does get back into the mix, especially if the Detroit Lions do pay him. It'd be awesome to have him over there, kind of like I said, what we have with Barry Sanders. It'd just be really cool to kind of get them back part of the community a little bit for the Detroit Lions. Let's first take a look at the offensive numbers reveal for the Detroit Lions. Again, these are subject to change by the time the season starts. But some of the main takeaways here, of course, Tyrell Williams with the only single-digit number at number 6. I love it. That's a clean number. I'm glad that he went to something like that with Goff having 16. That's just cool. I like the single digits. Something about them is satisfying. He's wearing the number 6. Of course, Khalif Raymond, the free agent signing, wearing the number 11. You got TB12. Vic Bolden there with the number 13. The two rookies, Amon-Ra St. Brown and Sage Surratt, one draft player, one UDFA, 14 and 15. Damian Ratley now, number 17. Brashad Perriman still rocking the number 19. That's his number. Jamal Williams keeps 30. You got Jermar Jefferson taking Adrian Peterson's number. Dedrick Mills, 36. Now, like we touched on, Charlie Jake, Hunter Thetford, Nick Bawden is also, of course, in there. Jason Cabinda, kind of like the H-back, fullback. I think they're competing for similar positions here, and that may be why we see guys like Nick Bawden and, Jason Cabinda getting their hands on the football a little bit. And, of course, guys like Charlie, Jake Hausman are going to have to block. I mean, I think they're competing for some similar roles here, but you see they're all in the same kind of number group. And, of course, Brock Wright, though, with the number 89. The right side here, Terrell Crosby keeps his number at 65. Darren Paolo, the new offensive lineman, number 66. Big V keeps the number 72. Jonah Jackson keeps 73. Rangnow keeping the same with number 77. Tommy Kramer, the new UDFA signing, wearing the number 78. Darren Fells back to Detroit wearing the number 80. Jonathan Adams with 82. Javon McKinley, also UDFA signing, wearing the number 83. Alize Mack. Okay, the tight end wearing the number 84. What do we have? Cephas wearing the same number at 87. So not a ton of craziness with the offensive side of the ball. I just like the Tyrell Williams number. The defensive side of the ball, however, is looking pretty clean. Quentin Dunbar, number 1. Please keep that number, Quentin. Please do that. Now, Quentin Dunbar, he wore the number 1 back in college. He actually came into Florida, if you didn't know, as a receiver. So he wore that number back in college. I think some of these players are liking this idea because they get to go back to their college numbers. Mike Ford with the number 2. Okay, a couple of vet changes here. Number 1 and number 2. Whoa, okay, I see you. Jamie Collins, number 8. That's fire. And then you got to go all the way to 21 to keep Tracy Walker keeping the same number. Jeff Okuda, Free Hefe wearing the number 23. The clean 23. Melly Fonwu wearing the number 26 here. Corn Elder, number 29. The slot cornerback, DeMarlo with the number 31. Alex Anzalone He dropped it down to number 34. Okay, so he is now number 34. He wore that number back in college with Florida as well. Pretty interesting stuff there. So I think some of these guys are taking their college numbers because they have the opportunity to do it. A lot of the same things after. You can see with some of the players there. Sean Dean Hamilton rocking the number 50. I always forget that we signed this guy. I feel bad. Robert McCray out of Indiana, the defensive end, wearing 52. Jelani Tabai keeps the number 51. Charles Harris with the number 53. Looks like an outside linebacker for sure. Ali McNeil, though, wearing the low defensive tackle. Low as he could possibly wear, he said. Low tackle there. Derek Barnes rocking the number 55, the throwback number. Joel Heath, 79. And then, of course, look at all those 90s. We have every single 90 number. Flowers, Brockers with the number 91. Kevin Strong with the number 92. Hand, 93. Bryant, 94. All the same numbers, all the way up until Julian Okwara. Julian Okwara also wearing number 99. John Pennicini wearing number 98. Now, John Pennicini wore 52 back in college, but he's sticking with the high number. Last year, he wore number 91, but now he's rocking the number 98 as that number is kind of became open to him. I like that fit. I think for him being on like a run-stuffing nose tackle, I think 98 suits him well. Then, of course, special teams, Randy Bullock, 4, Matthew Wright, 5. They're not going to both make the team, but Scott Daly and Muhlbach, ooh, okay, 47, 48. Both those guys for the long snapping position. Of course, the one and only Jack Fox. You only need one punter when you got Jack Fox. So, yeah, I think, some interesting numbers there. Let me know your takeaways. What are your favorite number changes from this? What do you guys like in the most? What jersey idea you like it? I like the Alex Anzalone idea at 34. Maybe I get Dunbar, Alex Anzalone. Hold up, get the Florida guys. Oh, that'd be clean. I got to get Jamal, though, too. I don't know. I'm struggling. I'm just waiting, though, because I want to make sure these are official. But at the same time, I don't want to wait anymore. So, yeah. Let me know your thoughts, guys, below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.